Very good morning, students. Let's begin with chapter number 5, Ocean Currents. Here, at the beginning of the chapter, you have tried this form of activity. On textbook page number 29. For this activity, we need materials. So let's see which materials are required for the given activity, which is shown in figure 5.1. A large metal tray, water, plastic sequence, spirit lamp, etc. What you have to do in this given activity, you have to keep the large metal tray on a stand, fill it with water. After the water becomes still, leave the sequence in them. After some time, the sequence will start floating in the water and become still too. Second, observe all these things. After some time, light the spirit lamp and place it below one corner of the tray. Observe what happens. Third, on the basis of this observation, discuss in the class and put forth your opinions regarding the experiment. Here, we come to know while doing this activity, what will be our observation. See, it will occur to you that as the temperature of water increases, the plastic sequence moves from one place to another. As the temperature rises, the density of water decreases and it becomes lighter. And therefore, the water having lower temperature, which is heavier, replaces the water with higher temperatures. After some time, the sequence starts moving in a circular motion. There is a movement of this sequence because of the flow of water. While doing this activity, what conclusion we can give based on our observation? We have come to know about the formation, direction, and velocity of the ocean currents. Formation, when you talk about, as ocean currents are formed due to the differences in temperature and density of seawater and planetary winds. Direction, when we talk about, as the ocean currents flow in clockwise direction in the northern hemisphere and in the anti-clockwise direction in southern hemisphere. Alignment of the coastline also changes the direction of the ocean current. Velocity, as the velocity of the ocean current is around 2 km to 10 km per hour. Very good morning, students. In our previous video, we have discussed about a small try this form of activity, ocean currents, its formation, direction and velocity. Here we are going to discuss about why did the toys travel in this way. Based on figure 5.2, a map which shows us the distribution of toys in the ocean, and figure 5.3, a toy duck. Textbook page number 30. A very strange incident occurred in the Pacific Ocean in the year 1992. A cargo ship sailed towards America from Hong Kong. While traveling through the Pacific Ocean near the Hawaii Islands, a container full of toys fell into the ocean and broke. Around 28,000 rubber toys started floating in the ocean. This incident occurred on 10th January 1992. Now, a strange thing happened. After around 10 months, on 16th of November 1992, some of these toys reached the coast of Alaska. Some of them crossed the Bering Strait and moved up to the Arctic Ocean by the year 2000. Some of them also floated to Atlantic Ocean from the Arctic, and some of these reached the eastern coast of America in 2003. And some of the toys had even reached the European coast by the year 2007 from the Hawaii Islands. Some toys took the route to Australia. So this incident we have to correlate with figure 5.2 and 5.3. Based on this figure, we can give the geographical explanation based on why did the toy travel in this way and how the distribution of toys in the ocean is shown in the figure 5.2. As the ocean water can be divided into two parts based on depth, surface water and deep water. The upper layer, which extends up to 500 meters from the sea level, and below 500 meter depth. Here it is the region from the sea level to the depth of 500 meter, which is considered to be the surface water. Sunlight can reach till this depth, and the movements in this layer occur mainly due to the differences in temperature and salinity. So the planetary winds give speed to the ocean currents. Here what you have understood, my dear students, here we have understood that the ocean currents are divided on the basis of depth. So types of the ocean currents on the basis of depth. As on the basis of depth, ocean currents can also be divided into surface ocean currents and deep ocean currents. Very good morning, students. In our previous class, we have been discussed in brief about the ocean currents. Let's discuss about the horizontal ocean currents, surface ocean currents. The flow on the surface of the ocean moves only 10% of the oceanic water. The surface flow is considered up to 500 meters of depth, and the discharge of water in the ocean is measured. It is equivalent to 1 million cubic meter per second discharge. The horizontal flow of ocean water occurs as warm and cold ocean currents. As these currents flow from the equator to the poles and from poles to the equator, these currents are pushed to long distances by the planetary winds. As a result of that, the ocean waters flow from equator to both the poles and vice versa. As you have studied the map given in the figure 5.4 earlier, we have been discussed about that. Now let's study the map questions and the map again and answer the following questions. Here are the questions. The first question here it is, what are the major types of ocean currents? And the answer is warm ocean currents and cold ocean currents are the major types of ocean currents. Second question, what do you call the currents flowing from the equator to the poles? And the answer is the currents flowing from the equator to the poles are called the warm ocean currents. The next question here it is, what do you call the currents flowing from the poles to the equator. Here, students, you can refer the figure 5.4, which shows us the warm ocean currents and the cold ocean currents in the given map of world. That is on textbook page number 31. The answer of our question is the currents flowing from the poles to the equator are called the cold ocean currents. The next question, when the currents are moving in a circular manner, what difference is visible in their direction in the northern and southern hemisphere respectively? And the answer is, when the currents are moving in a circular manner, they will move in clockwise in the northern hemisphere and anti-clockwise in the southern hemisphere. The next question, what might happen at the places where these currents meet? And the answer is, dense fog will get formed at the places where these two currents meet. The last question here it is, when two different types of currents meet along the coast, then what type of human settlements and occupations are seen? And the answer is, when the two different types of currents meet along the coast, then dense human settlements and fishing occupation are seen there. While having a discussion based on figure 5.4, ocean currents, we come to the conclusion that the ocean currents are formed due to the differences in temperature, density and planetary winds. In addition to that, I would say the reasons which are responsible for the ocean currents are the direction of the flow of ocean currents and their velocity. Along with that, the rotation of the earth. Because of the rotation of the earth, the ocean currents move in clockwise directions in the northern hemisphere and in anti-clockwise direction in the southern hemisphere. Continental structure is one more reason responsible for the direction of the flow of ocean currents and their velocity. According to the alignment of the coastline, the direction of the ocean current changes and the velocity of the ocean current is around 2 to 10 km per hour. The ocean currents are divided into two types, cold ocean currents and warm ocean currents. Do you know, students, the ocean currents of the Indian Ocean? Let's know about the ocean currents of the Indian Ocean. As there is similarity between the patterns of the ocean currents of the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean, but the flow of the ocean currents of the Indian Ocean are different than that of. As the Indian Ocean is a landlocked in north, the equator divides this ocean into two parts, northern and southern. The monsoon winds influence this ocean tremendously, and these winds change their direction according to the season. In the northern part of the Indian Ocean, the currents flow in clockwise direction in summer, while in winter they flow in the opposite direction due to the reversal of monsoon winds. Very good morning, students. In our previous video, we have been discussed about the horizontal ocean currents and the reasons responsible for the direction of flow of ocean currents and their velocity. In this video, we'll be talking about the effects of ocean surface currents on human life. Ocean currents especially affect the climate of the region, having proximity to the sea. In the cold regions where warm ocean current flow, climate becomes warmer. In some regions, the amount of precipitation increases. For example, the warm ocean currents flowing near the Western Europe, Southern Alaska and Japanese coast reduce the intensity of the winters there and make them warmer. As a result of that, these ports do not freeze in winters. Had the ocean current been absent, the ocean water would have remained still. In such waters, the biotic components would have been devoid of food. Consequently, marine life and its ecosystem would have been limited in its extent. In the regions where cold and warm currents meet, plankton, vegetation, algae, etc. grows. This is food for the fish. And therefore, fish come here in a large numbers and breed. This has in turn led to the formation of large fishing grounds. Grand Bank near the North American coast in Atlantic Ocean and Dogger Bank near the European coast in some of the examples related to that are here. With respect to the water transport too, the ocean currents are very important. If the transportation is done according to the flow of ocean currents, the speed of the ships increase and the fuel is saved too. Near the coast where the cold currents flow, the amount of precipitation is low. For example, in Peru, Chile and arid desert of Southwest Africa, at places where the cold and the warm currents meet, thick fog is formed. Such fogs create problems for transportation. The warm Gulf Stream and the cold Labrador Current meet near the Newfoundland Island, and this leads to dense fog. Because of these cold currents, icebergs are carried away from the polar areas, and if such icebergs come along the marine routes, they are hazardous to the ships. Very good morning, students. In our previous class, we have been discussed about the effects of ocean surface currents on human life. Now in this video, let's talk about the deep ocean currents and importance of the deep ocean currents. Deep ocean currents. These water currents beyond the depth of 500 meters are known as deep water or ocean currents. As these currents are formed due to the differences in temperature and density of the water in different parts of the ocean. This is known as the thermohaline circulation. As these currents flow till the seabed of the ocean, they flow like rivers continuously below the surface of the earth. For that, you can refer figure 5.5. Here also in this given map, you can see how these currents flow till the seabed of the ocean, and they flow like the rivers continuously below the surface of the sea. The difference in temperatures of various parts of the oceans is the major reason behind the deep sea currents, and warm water which has the lower salinity and density. Such water comes to the surface of the sea, and this cold water with high density goes down. This movement causes the deep sea water currents. For that, you can refer the same image along with the figure 5.6. Generally, the surface water near the Greenland and Europe moves to the more depths, and this water moves to the Antarctica at these depths. Later, the water moves to the surface, and thus the redistribution of the ocean water keeps occurring, and this redistribution takes around 500 years to complete. So this is the type of movement which is also known as a conveyor belt. Let's know more about the importance of the deep ocean currents. As due to the thermohaline circulation, the movement of the seawater occurs on a large scale, and because of this circulation, the ocean water moves from the surface to the bottom and from bottom to the surface. warm water which is transferred to the bottom from the surface, and the nutrient rich cold water which is circulated to the surface. Now here, do you know students that this circular pattern of the movements of the ocean currents give rise to certain peculiar features in the oceans, and they are called the Sargasso Sea in the Atlantic Ocean. In such an example which is marked by the circular pattern of the ocean currents. It does not have land boundaries and is only surrounded by the ocean currents. So it gets its name from the Sargasso seaweed, and this water remains still here. This sea is 1100 km wide and 3200 km long. Here you have to always remember that the ocean currents do not flow very close to the coast, as they flow near the lower limit of the continental shelf. And even though the velocity of the ocean current is less, the water carried by them is immense. Under the influence of the westerlies, in the mid latitudes, the ocean currents flow from west to east, but near the equator, they flow from east to west. So this leads to the circular pattern of the ocean currents, and for that you can refer the figure 5.4, which is on textbook page number 31. With this, we can conclude the chapter over here. Hope so you have understood the important terms from the chapter. Thank you.